Before viewing video lessons, it is important to read the textbook using the learning guide as your turn-by-turn directions. Then use the learning guide to take organized notes in your own words with examples and pictures.
So before we talk about the statistics and the gender differences and those kind of things, I want to talk about what cyclothymic disorder is first. So think about cyclothymic disorder as a step down from bipolar 2. And bipolar 2 is a step down from bipolar 1. So bipolar 1, we have mania, maybe depression, and hypomania. Bipolar 2, we have hypomania and depression. Cyclothymic, you're kind of hypomanic, but not fully hypomanic, because if it was a full hypomanic episode, then that would be bipolar 2. And you're kind of depressed, but you don't meet the full criteria for depression. Otherwise, you'd be diagnosed with depression, right? So it's kind of a mild form of bipolar disorder. If you ever meet the full criteria for hypomania, mania, or depression, then the diagnosis would change. And so this is a disorder that sometimes you see someone diagnosed with initially, and then later they may develop a full-blown episode of one of these other mood issues, and the diagnosis changes. So the symptoms are mild, but they have to cause distress and impairment in functioning, because if they don't, then it's not a disorder. So I'm kind of mildly up and down with my moods, for days and weeks at a time. I'm just never stable, but not so unstable that I meet those other criteria. It's also a long-lasting disorder. So for adults, we're looking at 2+ years, kids at least a year. This is going to be similar to that diagnosis we talked about with depression called dysthymia that lasted for 2+ years.
Is this like bipolar 2 where if you have this then you don't have depression, or can they co-occur?
So no, if you have depression, then we diagnose you with depression. You wouldn't have this diagnosis.
Okay.
Yeah. For this, are you talking about dysthymia and depression at the same time, or you can have both?
Well, either one. Can you have those?
No, with this one, if you have a depressive episode, then we're going to call you depressed. That's it.
Okay.
If you have a hypomanic episode and a depressive episode, it's going to be bipolar 2, and mania is going to be bipolar 1. So with dysthymia, you could have long-term mild depression and sometimes depressive episodes happening at the same time. So it's different.
Okay.